Breaking tonight, two major political stories. The Prime Minister clears the way for the former Attorney General to testify publicly. Can waiving solicitor-client privilege end the controversy?
And a high-stakes political battle. Voters in 3 provinces head to the polls, setting the stage for the fall election.
Pretty soon we'll be redlining it. Not quite running on fumes.
We test the range of battery-operated cars. Is going electric really worth it? This is The National.
It is a night of political drama. We're going to get to those key by-elections in a moment, but we begin with a stunning development in Ottawa. For weeks, the former Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould, has said she wants to tell her side of the SNC-Lavalin story. Now, it appears she can. Tonight, the Prime Minister freed her from solicitor-client privilege and cabinet confidence so she could speak openly about whether she was pressured to help the engineering company avoid criminal prosecution. David Cochrane now on the big question. What'll she say?
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
2 weeks in, the heat isn't going away.
The Prime Minister's fingerprints are all over this sleazy affair to let his friends off the hook.
But from that heat, a promise of light.
The member from Vancouver Granville will be able to address relevant matters at the committee while ensuring that the 2 active court cases are not jeopardized.
It was an ambiguous statement repeated several times in question period with no clarity. But late tonight, the government made things clear. An order in council explicitly waiving cabinet confidence for Jody Wilson-Raybould and any persons who directly participated in discussions with her respecting the prosecution of SNC-Lavalin. The order also waives, to the extent they apply, solicitor-client privilege and any other relevant duty of confidentiality while she held that office of Attorney General. That cabinet order may satisfy some of Wilson-Raybould's big concerns. She sent a letter to the Justice Committee outlining conditions she wants met before she testifies. I believe that in advance of my appearance, the members of the committee and I should have as much clarity as we can in relation to the possible constraints on the matters about which I may properly testify. She adds she wants a 30-minute opening statement to give her side of the story. It's clear she has something to say. This gives her the chance to say it.
So, David, this is an ever-developing story. So explain to us how significant the news is tonight from Justin Trudeau's office.
Yeah, Andrew, nobody here in our bureau tonight can ever remember anything like this. To be given a waiver like this in writing as a cabinet order is simply extraordinary. And what it means is that Jody Wilson-Raybould is now free to reveal any cabinet conversation she has had with people from the Prime Minister on down on SNC-Lavalin, and she's also freed from any concerns about solicitor-client privilege that may apply to those conversations. Now, it's also important to point out that this applies to people she spoke with, for instance, top staff in the Prime Minister's office. So this is a broad waiver, but there are some limits I want to walk you through because it only covers her time as Attorney General when she was in charge of the SNC-Lavalin prosecution, not her time as Veterans Affairs Minister, because this is to settle the issue of was she pressured while she held that Attorney General job. Another limit, the waiver only applies to the Justice Committee hearings and the investigation by the Ethics Commissioner. So this has to be done in public, at committee, or in private with the Commissioner and not anywhere else. And Andrew, a specific thing Jody Wilson-Raybould is not allowed to disclose are her conversations with the Director of Public Prosecutions, because SNC-Lavalin is facing criminal charges on this. They don't want to mess up that court process. So some limits, but a broad, exceptional waiver from the government tonight.
Okay, and so I suppose the million-dollar question is, will this be enough to quell the controversy?
Well, it depends on a couple of things. How does Jody Wilson-Raybould interpret this waiver, and what does she say when she testifies at committee? So this certainly seems to address her public concerns about being shackled by both privilege and confidentiality. We won't know for sure until she speaks at committee, and it looks like that could happen as soon as Wednesday. But in terms of making this go away, Andrew, we don't know yet, but probably a clear sign that the Prime Minister and his people are pretty confident in their argument.
Okay, David Cochrane in our Parliamentary Bureau. Thanks so much.
You got it.
Another question tonight, whether this SNC-Lavalin controversy will have any impact on the federal by-elections. Ian, let's watch it.
That's right, Andrew. 3 by-elections in 3 provinces and a test of the parties ahead of the fall election. And now, by the Pacific edition of The National, CBC News knows the winners in all 3 ridings. The Conservatives holding on to a seat in Ontario, the Liberals stealing the seat of the former NDP leader in Quebec. And the big story tonight, the current NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh, set to win his seat in British Columbia. This is where those results stand right now in the 10 o'clock hour Pacific time for Burnaby South near Vancouver. Singh is leading by more than 10 percentage points. That's with about 99% of the polls reporting. In fact, as you can see, about 13 percentage points. The Liberal candidate Richard Lee is in second place. With this win, Singh now has a seat in the House of Commons. Our reporter Briar Stewart has been with the NDP all night in Burnaby. We spoke with her an hour ago as the NDP leader was giving his victory speech.
Well, that's right. Jagmeet Singh walked into a very excited room full of supporters cheering. And as he got on stage, one of the first things he said was that today was a new day. He talked about when he was growing up, he couldn't think of somebody like him running to be Prime Minister. And he says by winning this seat and now having a seat in the House of Commons, he says it will really inspire a whole new generation of kids. He talked a lot while he was speaking to the crowd about some of the points he made during the campaign, about the importance of connecting with voters. And it's been reported that he knocked on some 30,000 doors during the whole Burnaby South election campaign. But it's interesting to note that with the votes and the numbers that have come in already, it does look like voter turnout is going to be quite low. And certainly we heard from the NDP and the Liberals throughout all of this that they were really focused on their ground game and getting the vote out today. Well, it was enough, for him to declare victory at this point, but it was certainly not the voter turnout that perhaps people were hoping for. Now, I should say that it's a win for him tonight because this means he'll now have a seat. He'll be able to be in the House of Commons, question the Prime Minister, but there are a lot of challenges still that lie ahead, and he did reference that when he spoke to the crowd. Take a listen.
We have 8 more months to let the people know that they can choose a government that stands up for people, not for corporations, that doesn't give handouts to SNC-Lavalin, but stands up for everyday Canadians.
He's facing a number of questions about just what happens now and how is he going to position the party to be more of a dominant player with the election just around the corner. And I mean, he won tonight, but there's so many challenges that lie ahead, given that several NDP incumbents have said that they will not run again. But really, it is still a celebration here tonight because he had been facing so many concerns from people in his own party about what would happen to his leadership if he did not win this riding. Well, that hasn't happened. He's won it, and tonight, certainly the NDP here are celebrating.
Happiness, maybe even some relief, Briar. Thank you very much.
Today, our voices were heard. Today, the citizens of Outremont, Côte-des-Neiges, and the Maya-land spoke loud and proud in favor of Liberal values.
That is Rachel Ben-Diane. She will be the Liberal MP for Outremont, riding in Montreal. The win for her in what was an NDP seat. And you can see right now she has more than 40% of the vote in that riding, the NDP second, about 2,000 votes behind.
Everybody in York Simcoe night, thank you so much.
And to York Simcoe, the Conservative MP there, Scott Davidson. Not really a big surprise. The federal riding just north of Toronto has been a Tory stronghold since 2004. And we'll look at the results there. Davidson with more than half of the votes, the Liberals in second, the NDP in this riding a distant third. All right, and throughout the evening, we've been getting analysis from Vassy Kapelos, the host of Power and Politics on CBC News Network. And Vassy, let's begin with the NDP. This was seen particularly in Burnaby South as a test for the party, and I guess to an extent, it was a test that Jagmeet Singh certainly passed.
He certainly did. Big sigh of relief from the NDP tonight for a couple of reasons. In Burnaby South especially, obviously the stakes were very high. This is Jagmeet Singh's now run for a seat in the House of Commons that he's successfully obtained. The pressure was most certainly on him to perform, and he did. he didn't just, match what the NDP won at this stage. We don't have all the polls reporting in, but it looks like he was able to build on the support from the last election. You look at the faces behind him, a real cross-section of Canadians supporting him in this. You heard Breyer describe what his message was. Clearly, it resonated with the voters in Burnaby. So big sigh of relief for the NDP there. The other front, Outremont, kind of a silver lining here. They certainly didn't win the seat that was held by Tom Mulcair by a long shot, but at a showing of about 27%, which is I think the number you just had up there for Julia Sanchez, the NDP candidate there, that is better than it could have been. So it could have been a lot worse than that. They could have had under 20%. They're still, showing signs of life in Quebec, and that is very important when you look towards the federal election.
We should point out, though, I think a low turnout in Burnaby South for sure, and the NDP machine was in full force. So you figure they, pushed out as many voters as they could, and you wonder in a general election with a bigger turnout what might happen. I guess we'll see in just a few months. But listen, another storyline I want to ask you about, and it played out so differently in York Simcoe in Ontario as opposed to Burnaby South, is the new party on the right, the People's Party.
It really did, Ian. We were looking to see how is this brand new party just kind of formed in the fall, led by Maxime Bernier, the renegade conservative who left the party back in the summer. How will it perform so early in its sort of lifeline? And we have two very different results. In Burnaby South, the candidate there, a polarizing figure, but one who was pretty well known in the community, got about 11% of the vote at this stage. That's a pretty big number for a brand new party. Take the flip side in Outremont, Quebec, and particularly in the 905, where we were watching very closely to see if the People's Party of Canada would shave off some support, crucial support for the Conservatives in that region. They were not able to do so. They got between 1% and 2%. So very different outcomes in two different parts of the country. Hard to tell exactly what it means for the federal election at this point.
I was sitting on my couch in Vancouver early this morning, Vashi. You were already live on television. It's been a long day. You've done a great job. And thank you very much for all your help this evening.
Thank you. My pleasure.
It has been 3 years since the troubled Phoenix payroll system was launched. It was meant to be a more streamlined way to make sure public servants got paid. But then the problems started rolling in.
It's a complete disaster. I mean, 70% of our members have reported having problems, whether that's overpayments or underpayments or wrong deductions.
More than half of all federal government employees in Canada are having problems getting paid properly because of Phoenix. Right now, there's a backlog of more than 250,000 problem transactions, and each has to be dealt with manually. Let's remember, Phoenix was meant to automate the payroll system and save taxpayers millions of dollars each year, but instead, the cost of implementing and trying to fix it will exceed $1 billion. And now, CBC News has learned Ottawa thinks it could take 10 years to undo the damage caused by that failed system. So tonight, the story of one civil servant caught up in the fiasco. The CBC's Robin Miller met her.
It's just been hard. Like, every day I worry about it.
Making greeting cards helps Lynn McDaniel keep her mind off Phoenix. At one point, the government help desk technician thought she might lose her house because she wasn't being paid at all.
The stress that I was under when I was in the debt and not getting paid. I was paying my mortgage on my visa bill and, kiting money basically just to survive.
To make matters worse, McDaniel was diagnosed with cancer. While she was off work receiving treatment, the government overpaid her. She now owes $6,500.
It's sickening to me. It's outrageous because people are affected by it.
McDaniel's not alone. Tens of thousands more public employees are still waiting for their pay issues to be resolved.
After 3 years of not being paid properly, our members are still suffering pay issues, payday after payday after payday.
Now, CBC News has learned it will still take another 3 to 5 years to clear the backlog, and it could take a decade or more for the system to be stable. The briefing note says the government is extremely concerned about the pace of resolving the crisis.
This will be resolved. We will stabilize this system. Yes, it's taking longer than we wish, but rest assured, this is my #1 priority.
That's little comfort to McDaniel, who says the impact of Phoenix can, at times, be debilitating.
So I know that when I'm going back to work, that there's that risk that the pay interruption will happen again.
She's hoping for the best, but knows from experience there's no guarantees. Robin Miller, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now, the Trudeau government has already decided to scrap Phoenix and find a brand new system to pay federal employees. The process to choose which one is underway.
I hope to go to Cabinet this spring with some of the options, and we hope to be in a position to be able to launch pilot projects as early as the spring or summer of this year.
In the last few months, civil servants and their unions did get a chance to test drive possible replacements and give their feedback. IBM, which was hired in 2011 to implement Phoenix, did not bid on the first phase of the replacement project. And so, Adrian, from a bureaucratic crisis to an international one, you're tracking the situation in Venezuela.
Yeah, you bet, Andrew. Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland was in Colombia today, where one thing was very clear. The support for Venezuela's Juan Guaido is strengthening internationally. The U.S. Vice President led talks today on trying to get Nicolas Maduro out of power. Mike Pence also encouraged others to follow Washington's lead and hit other Venezuelan politicians who support Maduro with sanctions, too. But as the CBC's Lindsay Duncombe tells us, there are a lot of questions about whether sanctions will work.
The escape across the border from Venezuela to Colombia is difficult. The loss of home, heartbreaking. Today, Venezuelans in exile shared their pain with the self-declared interim President Juan Guaido and U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. Pence brought Guaido a message from President Donald Trump.
We are with you, 100%.
That support, for now at least, is economic. Pence announced new sanctions on officials close to President Nicolas Maduro, including 3 governors the Americans say were involved in the deadly clashes over the weekend when forces supporting Maduro blocked aid at the border. Some of the desperately needed supplies set on fire. Pence urged the other members of the Lima Group to force Maduro from power by tightening the economic noose.
Nicolas Maduro is a usurper with no legitimate claim to power. And Nicolas Maduro must go.
But some question if sanctions of any kind will make a difference.
We are looking for regime change quickly, and that is unlikely.
What the Americans want is more Venezuelan soldiers to leave Maduro and join the opposition. Since the weekend's violence, the U.S. has counted close to 200 defections, but thousands remain loyal.
The Maduro regime has been able to buy them off, if you will, through corruption, but also because the Maduro regime has a very effective intelligence apparatus that allows the regime to threaten these people.
So will the U.S. send in troops? The message continues to be all options are on the table. The Trump administration sounds more hawkish on Venezuela than other conflicts. Part of that calculation may be domestic politics. Fighting socialism anywhere plays well with Republicans. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.
And in a sign of just how touchy things are getting in Venezuela, Univision journalist Jorge Ramos was briefly detained after an interview with the country's leader. According to Univision, Nicolas Maduro just did not like the questions he was being asked.
Here's some other stories we're following tonight, including some nasty weather in Ontario, which led to a big pileup.
This is going to be a bit of a mess getting this cleaned up.
As many as 70 vehicles jammed together in whiteout conditions on Highway 400 in Barrie this morning. 500 liters of diesel spilling from a tractor trailer. 12 people were hurt, though all of the injuries were considered to be minor. First responders had to help people out of windows. Buses were brought in to keep people warm. It took around 6 hours to clear the scene before the highway could be reopened. The Syrian mother who lost 7 children in a house fire last week has been reunited with family members today in Halifax. A local MP has been helping coordinate the visitors' visas for Kauter Barho's relatives, but says he won't be releasing any more information about them to respect her privacy. Kauter's husband has been in a medically induced coma since trying to save the children from the burning home last week. In the wake of the Humboldt Broncos tragedy, Saskatchewan's chief coroner says that he'd like to see seatbelts on every public transport bus in Canada. His office has finished its investigation and released 6 recommendations, among those a mass fatality plan for the coroner's officer to be more careful in identifying the deceased, This comes after an initial ID mix-up of two Humboldt players. One boy was pronounced dead when, in fact, he survived.
Next, what happens in Syria after an ISIS defeat?
And later, the pop panel talks Oscars, no host, and no shortage of controversy.
First, though, David Common goes electric and hits the road for a test drive.
How did things go so wrong? How'd we end up driving with no heat at night outside Detroit, late for an appointment, and about to run out of the fuel we need?
These are civilians, refugees from ISIS being loaded up and sent away to camps in northern Syria. For the ISIS fighters who remain, it's the end of the line. The final scrap of ISIS-held territory could fall any day now. But that has triggered feverish debate over when the U.S. should leave the battlefield. Donald Trump's hastily announced withdrawal of troops from Syria in December was a catalyst for the resignation of his Defense Secretary Jim Mattis. Ellen Morrow spoke to active service members and experts to get reaction on where Washington stands now and what comes next.
The last vestiges of a grueling fight, U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces on the verge of territorial victory.
It is time to give our brave warriors in Syria a warm welcome home.
But they're not all coming home. After criticism the full withdrawal President Trump wanted was too much too soon, the U.S. will now leave 400 soldiers in Syria, expected to be part of a multinational force of up to 1,500 troops.
I think it's us trying to figure out what a complex situation looks like.
Why the rethink and what will it mean? Lots to consider at this podcast recording in Washington, where service members and analysts come to talk military policy.
One of the things that we see in the air is that we don't know how the story is going to end.
Ryan Fischel and Brett Reichert fought against ISIS. They don't speak for the military, but did share their opinions with us. Reichert served in Mosul, Iraq.
We now have to transition to the next phase. There's a way, there's a time, and there's a space for us to conduct now stability operations that there hadn't been before.
There are fears, though, that stability may be fleeting, that fewer troops could mean a resurgent ISIS.
If you read ISIS literature, if you hear what...
Hassan Hassan, a Syrian, is co-author of ISIS Inside the Army of Terror. ISIS, he says, still poses a danger in Iraq, Syria, and beyond.
You need to wait until there's a political settlement. You can't just say, I'm done with ISIS, and I don't think it's a good idea to stay there. That just makes no sense.
Fischel flew bombing missions over Raqqa, Syria.
Do you feel confident that there won't be an ISIS 2.0?
From a history perspective, I guess, I'm not really confident in anything can happen. I think that there's a lot of black swans swimming around, and I think that we can pretty much see just about anything play out in that region.
ISIS is still estimated to have tens of thousands of followers in the region and sympathizers around the world. But loss of territory does mean fewer resources and no more formal base to plan attacks.
Regardless of what you believe in this particular administration's decisions to withdraw from Syria or not, we've had success, be it regional success, be it tactical success or operational success.
Before the final assault on the so-called caliphate, Syrian Democratic Forces have been evacuating hundreds of civilians from ISIS territory, giving them a chance to survive and face whatever comes next. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Washington.
And lots more to come tonight, including an underground mystery unearthed in Halifax.
First, though, an electric road trip with David Common. Is going green inconvenient?
This says there's two stations available. What are we close to here? We could go backwards.
Electric vehicles, they're becoming more and more popular in Canada. They can save you money on gas and help the environment, but they also come with some unique challenges that can make potential buyers uneasy. So David Common and a CBC News crew decided to test one out, to push it to its limits, and to find out if going electric is really worth it.
How did things go so wrong? How'd we end up driving with no heat at night outside Detroit, late for an appointment, and about to run out of the fuel we need. It's our first adventure with a fully electric car, and it began by renting Arthur Pott's entry-level battery-only vehicle.
Welcome.
How are you?
Very well indeed. Good to see you.
This is it.
This is it, the Kia Soul. They're a little bit more expensive, but now I think the cost benefit, you're nuts to buy an internal combustion engine if you're driving around a city. I save maybe $3,000, $3,500 a year in gasoline.
Turns out Potts pushed EVs in the last Ontario government.
I was the junior minister for environment and climate change.
Drivers are still shy of battery-only offerings, no gas engine at all. So what's holding us back? That's 4 things: cost to buy, range, how far they can go between charging, whether there are enough charging stations, and the time it takes to recharge. Along with producer Jill and videographer Ed, I'm testing those out on this journey.
So 11.5 million Canadians do what we're doing right now, and that is commute by car to work. On average, they drive 23 kilometers one way, which means 46 there and back.
Starting with 138 kilometers of range, we drive 50 kilometers on the highway one way. Then add some stops on city streets for a return journey of 60K. Remaining range, about 28 kilometers. Total cost to recharge at home, under $2.
How many times do we stop at the gas station?
Not once.
Not once.
But we knew this part was going to be easy. All the EV experts we consulted said these cars are a no-brainer for city driving. But what if you need to take a road trip?
Yeah, so tomorrow we head to Detroit.
Yikes.
Overnight, we're using a level 1 charger, the smallest and slowest there is.
Okay, so we parked the car at 6 o'clock last night, started charging it at 7:30 now, 11.5 hours later. How we doing? The car is at 86%, and it could actually take 5 more hours of charging to get up to 100%. That's okay. This is enough for what we need to do today. And what are we doing? Well, it's actually a little bit risky. We are going 400 kilometers all the way to Detroit. It's a big road trip in an electric vehicle, one we've never done.
Teslas, like the one next to us here, can make the trip in just 1 stop. But for us, in this much cheaper $35,000 car, we're looking at a max range of 165 kilometers. Cold weather can shrink that down by a quarter, so trip planning is key.
If we go dead, it's not like you can just walk to a gas station, because not everywhere can give you a charge.
Exactly. Basically, our experiment
is over.
Yeah.
Jill is using an app to track where we can recharge along the way, and we can use that app to pay for the top-ups as well.
Okay, never done this before, so let's see. Plug the charging connector into your vehicle. I think it's this one. Or is it? No? Yeah. That looks right. Yeah. So here we go. The app actually says how long it's been, how long it's costing me. It's $20 an hour to do this, but this is a fast charger, so it's gonna go pretty quickly. 20% charged right now.
The stop gives us time to make a call. A chat with an EV expert, Simon Willett of Charge Hub.
Hi, Simon.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, it's okay. We're on our first stop, so we got about 100 kilometers, and you can see it. Here we are with our car and our charging station, and it's at 65% right now after only about 10 minutes. What do we need to know about sort of maximizing our mileage, our range?
Cabin heat takes up a lot more energy, so dress warm, that'll get you a lot of extra miles.
We're at 80% right now, so I think I'm gonna wrap this call up with you because we're gonna disconnect and hit the road.
Back on the road, and the heat's turned way down to extend our range.
Uh-oh.
And after another 100 kilometers,
please visit a nearby charging station.
Time for another stop.
Pretty soon we'll be redlining it. Oh, there you go. Okay, just pulled off the highway here. Not quite running on fumes, but we got 16 kilometers of range left. So we really pushed the limit on this one.
300 meters. Turn right on Wellington Road.
There we go.
So I think for this stop, we're going to want to go above 80%. The next stop is 116 kilometers away, and there's nothing between here and there.
Okay, get the app out. $20 an hour to use this. We'll probably use it for about half an hour. After lunch and back on the road for half an hour, and that's when things start to go wrong.
We should have taken a different exit.
Oh, is that why you're saying that? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we way off? How far off of our plan are we relative to where our next charging station is? This says there's 2 stations available. Like, what are we close to here? We could go backwards.
I don't think we should go backwards.
But we have to find something in front of us.
So, a new route it is.
Okay, time for recharge, and not a moment too soon. We're only about 10 kilometers of range left. All right, it's charging, 9% already. Might as well get something warm inside.
Okay, let me think.
None of this was part of the plan. We're now late, supposed to be in Detroit in less than an hour with no chance of making it. And now, another issue.
The charger we're plugged into is not charging at the rate we've become accustomed to. It's going slower.
Time to phone a friend. Simon's our EV lifeline.
We ended up taking a different route than we'd planned, and so we didn't go to the charger that we'd planned. We found another charger. We're at that charger, but it's taking much longer than we thought it would, even though it's still a level 3. Why is that?
Usually you'll see 50 kilowatts, so that's probably when you've been charging at most of the day today, but now you've probably hit one that is throttled down to a lower power.
It's about 100 kilometers from here to there, and our car is not charged up sufficiently for that right now.
Oh, no, 107.
107? Okay, so I'm gonna go out and see if we got that much.
52%. That's not going to be enough. So our range right now is 78 kilometers. It's not enough to get us to Detroit. So I think we're probably going to have to wait it out. The alternative is driving to a faster charger than this one, but it's a bit of a gamble.
We have just enough range remaining to make it, but not enough time. We need to speed up, and doing so reduces the range faster. To compensate, we're turning all the heat off, and it gets very cold very fast. But we do make it to the auto show just before it closes.
Okay, we made it!
To meet Paul Rzuski of the Toronto Electric Vehicle Association.
Good to meet you. Thanks so much for waiting for us. Okay, my hands are frozen, my feet are frozen. We had to turn everything off in order to get here. Here's my thing. People are gonna look at what we've done, and they're gonna say, uh-oh, I don't know about an EV.
The good news is that you drove a previous generation electric car. So over there is the same car you were driving. It's being introduced with more than double the size of the battery.
In other words, we could have made it without recharging, or maybe recharging once. A very different kind of story, and gives you a sense of where EVs are headed.
It makes you realize how, in just 2 years, a single car model has really extended its range. There are some lessons, though. EVs certainly can be affordable and seem great for city commutes, but not all models are suitable for longer road trips. Still, progress is happening, and happening quickly. Longer ranges, shorter recharges, and more charging stations. David Coleman, CBC News, Detroit.
So here in Canada, an expert we spoke with said the number of charging stations has been doubling year over year, but access really depends where you start driving and where you're trying to get to. So these are all the public fast charging stations in Canada, the ones that take about a half hour to top up most electric vehicles. There are a bunch in southern BC and in parts of Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes, but there are still areas, especially across the prairies, where they are few and far between.
Okay, straight ahead. The Canadian Oscar win inspiring a new generation.
To all of the nerdy girls out there who hide behind their sketchbooks, don't be afraid to tell your stories to the world.
That's next on The National, but first. In case you missed it, a centuries-old mystery has been discovered beneath the Nova Scotia legislature in Halifax. Archaeologists have been excavating the grounds, looking for historical artifacts, but nobody expected this.
So what we discovered was an open, dry stone-laid chamber.
Intrigued? Here's a closer look. It's on the southeast corner of the Province House grounds, a vault, estimated to be about the size of a living room, about 3 meters high.
There's no record of anything of that nature being here on the property.
So what's inside, right? Well, crews haven't been able to fully enter the space, but they sent in a remote camera and didn't see much. The chamber itself looks to be empty, but on the roof, they did find a few artifacts dating back to the late 18th or early 19th century. So what was the vault for?
It's similar in construction to some powder magazines that were built around that period.
It'll be up to the government to decide whether to dig further, but if the 1,500 artifacts they've found so far elsewhere on the property are any indication, this Chamber of Secrets could still have many more to reveal. From the Grammy-esque opening to the fact that there was no host, it was clear these would be no ordinary Oscars. Stealing the show, a mix of music,
we're far from the shallow now,
and the bizarre.
Nuance and sophistication are just two qualities of the most effective costume design.
It was different, that's for sure, and it seems to have paid off. In the U.S., almost 30 million people watched on television. That's up 12% from last year's record low, and that wasn't the only surprise of the night.
And the Oscar goes to Green Book.
The controversial pick for Best Picture elicited a mixed reaction from the crowd and from our pop panel, too. In just a moment, you'll hear their takes on the biggest stories of the night. First, though, Oscar night was a big one for Canadian animators. And this country already has a reputation for churning out some of the world's best. But 3 Canadian pictures were up for Best Animated Short. And Toronto's Domi Shi picked up the big prize. So, Tashana Reed has a look at Shi's work and the people who inspired her.
And the Oscar goes to Bow.
It was a fairy tale moment for Toronto's Domi Shi as she accepted her Oscar. At the mic, she took time to share a special message.
To all of the nerdy girls out there who hide behind their sketchbooks, don't be afraid to tell your stories to the world.
She became the first woman to direct a short at Pixar with her 8-minute film Bow. Backstage at the Oscars, she said the film was an opportunity for her to tell a Chinese-Canadian story.
One of the great things about being able to make Bow is I got to do a lot more research and really dive into my heritage.
She got her start at Pixar as a storyboard artist, working on big-budget films like Inside Out and Incredibles 2.
Wow, okay, that is freaky.
Before Pixar, she was a student at Sheridan College's animation program in Oakville, Ontario. Chris Walsh was one of her instructors.
To be able to sort of see her reach that point and to see it sort of written so large as that, as being on stage at the Oscars and taking home that award, I think it made me very proud. I'm sure it made all of her teachers very proud.
The students here, especially young women, see Shi's win as an inspiration.
It's a really great message, especially for like women in animation right now. It's just so nice.
Seeing like another Asian Canadian making, authentic stories that are different from what we currently see from Hollywood most of the time. It's really refreshing.
But she isn't the only success story from the world-renowned school. For years, alumni have been represented at the Oscars. At this year's Oscars, 2 other Canadian shorts by Sheridan alumni were competing in that category. including Weekends, a story by Trevor Jimenez from Sheridan's class of 2007.
It's really amazing, and I'm very proud to be in good company with everyone else. I'm proud to be Canadian.
The success at the Oscars comes as the school's animation program celebrates its 50th anniversary.
Is confirmation that what we're doing here remains excellent. That after 50 years of teaching animation, we have achieved the best that we can achieve in our graduates.
This is the first Oscar. As for Domi Shi, it's only the beginning of a bright career. She's already working on directing her first feature film. Tashana Reed, CBC News, Oakville.
Now, there were so many Oscar moments that had us talking today, some good, some controversial, so we just had to bring our pop panel back in to get their take. Here's what stood out to them.
The headline of the night for me was clearly the realization that we actually don't need an Oscar host, maybe ever. As it turns out, that show went totally fine.
They keep all of the banality. So even though there's no host, it was unrecognizably different. It was not different in any way from any previous Oscar.
All the presenters actually got time to banter and do these great bits that I don't know if we would have gotten otherwise.
We just need funny presenters to present 10 seconds and then get it over with.
These artists create a pastiche of textiles with authenticity, yet never distract from the story.
My favorite moment of the night, no doubt, was Olivia Colman's speech.
It's genuinely quite stressful. This is hilarious. Got an Oscar.
She accepted the Oscar for Best Actress, and she was the Best Actress, and that so rarely happens. It was just one of those actually good surprises of the night.
So please wrap up. Right, okay.
Unlike, Green Book.
One of the most disappointing parts of the night for me was we got to see Mahershala Ali win Best Supporting Actor for Green Book for his role playing Dr. Don Shirley, and he gave credit where credit's due.
Trying to capture Dr. Shirley's essence pushed me to my ends, and which is a reflection of the person he was and the life that he lived, and I thank him.
Unfortunately, we didn't see that same acknowledgement when the crew behind Green Book won for Best Picture. They didn't acknowledge Dr. Don Shirley at all, and instead said it all started with Vigo.
Spike Lee, I guess, would be the story of the year for me, although I just found it incredibly sad that this man who has made classic films, films that will last as long as people care about American films.
And fifth nomination for Spike Lee.
And he wanted their approval so badly. This Academy in its last gasps of relevance. We're now at a point where The Godfather has fewer Oscars than Bohemian Rhapsody. So let's take the prize on that level. And it was still like how badly Spike Lee wanted it.
A quick look at some of the stories we've been following, including the by-election results. Here in the Lower Mainland, it was an NDP win for the party leader, Jagmeet Singh.
Friends, we made history today. We made history today.
Singh will now represent Burnaby South in the House of Commons. All polls are reporting their results, and Singh took 39% of the vote. His closest competitor, the Liberal candidate Richard Lee, had 26%. Some new pictures into our newsroom tonight of the breaking news coverage in India. What we know is that Indian fighter jets crossed over into Pakistani airspace to carry out a strike on what the Indian government calls terror camps. The Pakistani Air Force scrambled jets to intercept them, and India's aircraft turned back. This appears to be a dramatic escalation of tensions between the two countries, both with nuclear capabilities, which have fought 3 wars against each other. The Vatican treasurer, who was a top advisor to the Pope, has been found guilty of sex offenses against 2 choir boys in Australia more than 2 decades ago. The verdict against Cardinal George Pell was handed down in December, but only made public today after an Australian court lifted a suppression order on the case. Pell is now the most senior Catholic clergyman worldwide to be convicted of child sex offenses. His lawyers say they are appealing. This is a day one Newfoundland family won't soon forget. After an accident, Tanya Castle-Party and her kids suffered minor injuries, but they were forced to leave the scene without their dog, Obi. When they couldn't find him, they assumed the worst and they reluctantly left, but then they turned to social media for help. 5 days later, a stranger called with some good news. Obi had been spotted, so Tanya's husband rushed back to the scene of that big collision, and what happened next is our moment.
As soon as I picked up the phone, his first words were, "I got him." And I said, "Oh my goodness, is that true?" And he said, "Yes, I got him. He seems okay." And my children were standing next to me. They were getting ready to go to bed. And they were like, Mom, what's going on?" And I said, "Dad found Obi." And then we started. We cried and we cried and we cried. And I think we cried more that night than the night we lost him. Since he's got home, he's got lots of cuddles and lots of privileges that he didn't have before, and lots of treats. The accident itself was so horrific, and to survive all that weather and for everything to fall in line in order to find him, it's such a miracle. Like, we really truly thought that he was gone. Look, Obi, look.
Okay, so he looks good. Interesting thing about, families who know their pets, they were saying that they knew he was such a nervous dog that there's no way he would return home without them, so they had to go to him.
And budding screenwriter alert, if you're writing this story, you got to think about the scene, the reunion scene where the family went back to where that crash happened. They called out the dog's name a few times, heard distant barking, and then with snow encrusted on his face, the dog came running.
But it's that last point that's amazing. I mean, how is it that the dog wasn't more injured than he was? The vet who looked at him said it was a miracle that there was no frostbite on his paws or on his ears, and so in addition to being incredibly resourceful and surviving all that time, I guess he's tough as nails.
Healthy.
That's The National for this February 25th. Good night.
Good night.